Okay, so last week I posted a video about sensory overload, a trait of autism that affects me and a lot of other people. I wanted to clarify what it is, what it feels like, so that people could better understand it and recognize it in themselves and others. And the video did fine. Got a couple of thousand views, 4,500 people gave it a thumbs up, and I got some really nice feedback from people saying that it had helped. Job done. 3 people, though, thought that the most important thing they should comment on, and comment very negatively on, was that I happened to be wearing nail varnish in the video. This seemed to make them very angry. One of them said he was so irritated by it that he'd have to unsubscribe to my entire channel. Another said, and I'm quoting directly here, "It's definitely very weird that you want to look like your fingers got slammed in a car door, and that I should think of my audience before appearing in a video with painted nails again." Look, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and if you have a genuine feedback or an alternative point of view, that's great, let me hear it. But once you're talking about how my fingers look like they got slammed in a car door, well, that's just an insult, and it's a choice you made to be a dick. In my business, that's called a heckle, and I'm known for engaging with hecklers, so permit me to counterpunch. Seriously, I made a video about the discomfort people like me suffer from being in the outside world in an attempt to foster mutual understanding, and you ignore all of that and choose to try to bully me over my appearance? That's your takeaway? That's the hill you want to die on? Oh, and when I politely asked if you get the same irritation when you encounter women with painted nails, you go quiet. Ah, interesting. I talked in a previous video about how I'm trying to unmask as an autistic, leaning towards living in a way that doesn't make me feel quite so tired from conformity, and instead behave in a way that feels a little more authentic and natural. Maybe painting my nails is a tiny part of that. I think it might be. It's not very important, but I like it, and so I chose to do it. I mean, look at me. I'm a white middle-aged cis dude. I am in almost every other visual respect pretty generic looking, and it's amazing to me, amazing and depressing, that as soon as I make one little change, do one tiny thing that doesn't fit into an idiot's expectation of what I should look like, some people just cannot cope. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't upset by those comments. I'm not making this video through angry, triggered snowflake tears. I'm just super sad for the people who are so easily driven to anger by something so meaningless. If something as insignificant as the colour of my fingernails makes you feel that you absolutely have to send me a message telling me you don't like me anymore, then, well, damn, the outside world must be an awful place for you. Which is a golden, shining irony, bearing in mind the original video was about, for many autistic people, how the outside world is an awful place. Now, I would be open to being more tolerant of these people's annoyance if it was just about painted nails in general. Perhaps I thought maybe it's just a purely visual trigger, an example itself of sensory overload, but they all hinted at something else in their grumpy little messages. One mentioned drag, another mentioned gender, so you know what, I think there might be something else going on here. And for the record, this isn't a statement on my gender, and it obviously isn't drag, it's painted nails. That's all. But it got me thinking, if someone who looks like me, who is making content about his disability, not content about drag or gender, and who just happens to have painted nails in the video, if I get hassle from people aggressively telling me how I should conform to what they want me to be, well then I can only imagine how bad it is for my friends in the drag, trans and non-binary communities. Actually, I don't need to imagine. I know how bad it is. It's bad. So, I'd like to thank those boring muppets for wading in like the absolute wet wipes they are. It reminded me how lucky I am that that's about as bad as it gets for me. And it made me think of those for whom it is on a daily basis, online and in real life, much, much worse. Nothing but love to my more varied familia. Oh, and one more thing. To the person who said they hated my black nails, they're not black, they're plum. Dior. Because I'm classy. Hope you're doing okay. See you next time.